Christmas. Bongi Mbonambi, and our laws advisor, Jacob Paper. Same as always, please raise your hands for questions. English first for the first 20 minutes, and then we'll go to Afrikaans. Okay, cool. Fire away.
Rassie, maybe let's just start with Manie. He's obviously been widely criticised. You've been asked already if you back him, etc. This is the ultimate way to back the guy in the next game by selecting.
Yeah, no, definitely. We had a team had a little laugh at a few of the memes and stuff that went around and had a look at it. And then we see it as, you know, people who hasn't gone through that, hasn't felt that kind of pressure and doesn't know how tough it is. And we totally understand that people will criticize him and he takes it on the chin. And we all as a management team and as a coaching staff, we take it on the chin. But the only way to get a guy like him through this is to get back onto the horse and ride it till it's flat again. So, and we certainly have made some plans. The way we want to play Manie is integral this weekend, and then we've made some other plans with the goal kicking as well, which hopefully will work.
I was going to ask you, good afternoon, gentlemen, good afternoon. I was going to ask you, just as a follow-up to my colleague's question, we've got millions and millions, you guys as Springboks, as coaches, millions and millions of Springbok support, very passionate about this very brand and these Springboks. Can I ask you, what is your thoughts on how South Africans and Springbok sports support their team and criticize their players when things are not going the Springboks way?
No, we totally understand that. I mean, when we play well, we take the credit and we smile and we're happy, and the guys love the positivity and how people praise them, and we take that. So when we're not playing well and when we're not doing things as well, they surely have the right to criticize, and especially if we did not put in all the effort in a specific game, which I did not think was last week's case. I really thought Argentina played well. But then when it comes to individual things, you know, if you take that game, Argentina missed 3 kicks at goal and we missed 2 at goal. So I think we missed 4 or 5 try opportunities, which is much more, how can I say, bad than missing a kick like that. But Manie, you know, he's a professional. We professionals. We all around him, and he's starting again this weekend. Another chance with a guy like Andre. I think there's 18 World Cup winning Springboks part of the match day 23.
Rijden Villiers van Radio Laagveld 100.5 FM. There's a perception that the new game plan has adversely affected the performance of the starting 9s. How do you keep them motivated if their job's that much harder?
The first time I hear about that, it's adversely to the 9s. It's actually, I think a guy like Jaden who's starting this weekend is very exciting for the younger 9s. Grant Williams, Jaden, you know, a guy like Faf has been out, Herschel has been out, and Kobus, you know, he's already in his 33, I think. So no, I think having the 2 mate on the bench for maybe the latter part of the game in Kobus, and a guy like Jaden, I think will actually flourish in the way we want to play. He's a natural footballer, and I don't think the game plan is, whoever said it, I disagree with that.
Yes.
Rassie, a lot is being said about the scenario that needs to play out for Argentina to win the Rugby Championship. They beat the All Blacks, they beat the Springboks, they topped the Aussies by 40 points. They've scored the most points, they've scored the most tries. Unlikely but not impossible. Your opinion?
No, it's definitely possible. I think our team have showed that many things are possible when the odds against you. And Argentina is very similar country like us. I think, as I said there in my previous interview, I think rugby championships for us in Argentina, at the latter part of it, we are always playing each other at the end. And when you play home first and then fly with the team back home, you don't really get the benefit with them flying back with us here. You don't really get any benefit from flying and jet lag and time zones and those kind of things. So you're flying back with them, they got the same stress or tiredness or whatever would affect them. So the way we try to counter that is by sending guys over there, hoping and trying to beat them with that team. Got a bonus point, would have loved to win, but now hoping that our chances is much better with 6 fresh guys on this side who didn't play, and also Eben who didn't play a full match on that side, and also Sia who would be fairly fresh. So yeah, there's a little bit of science behind it, but with all means we do think Argentina believes they can do it, and that's what we would have to stop.
Anami?
Jaco, Ben O'Keefe is the referee. He's been criticised by Eddie Jones and DuPont in the past that he's biased towards the Springboks. Does that have a negative effect on the team? How do you approach that?
Yeah, look, if you have the privilege like me, who lived with Ben in an environment for 10, 12 years, you know he's a medical doctor, he's a very smart man, so balanced, such a good individual. But then when you look at him referee, he'd also know from experience that if you listen to those outside voices and if you look at this match any different than trying to do the best for this match and deal with what's in front of you, that's when it gets messy for a referee. So you can't think of all those things, he's too experienced. And Ben will just try and do a good job and try and service this game. It's a playoff for any referee. I mean, this game decides the championship, and Ben's done British Lions games that's decided outcome of the series. He's done World Cup quarterfinals, us against Ireland at the World Cup, always within 1 or 2 points. And Ben knows when it's within one score, the team that loses, their fans are loaded, and they'll be critics. So if South Africa lost against France with that 1 point, it would have just been a reverse. So I think Ben is smart enough.
Rassie, in picking this team and making the changes you guys have changed, what is it that you're trying to impress from last weekend?
Yeah, I think the one thing that Argentina really does well, they don't even have a provincial competition where they're playing together. But I think Filippo's got with his team that Argentinian old spirit back where they're really passionate and they believe in the way they're playing. And they're certainly a team that likes it fast and loose. And when we hit the ground then it was 40 degrees and we were flying just over there. We certainly felt that in our legs and the pace was really high. That's why hopefully we can contain those. It was actually we got the yellow card, and at 10 minutes they scored 2 tries, and then actually in 17 minutes they scored all their points. And I think the second half was 6-3 for us. So it's that moments of brilliance which they have. They've got a lot of sevens background players, which it's not a lot of structure which they break you down with. But when they break you down, like Australia 60 points, New Zealand not even a bonus point, and us only a bonus point against them. So it's certainly. And the average age, I think, is 27, 28. So they're a nice settled team with a coach that knows how he wants to coach them and a team that knows how they want to play. So we'll try and play in our terms this weekend, and we didn't totally manage that 100% away.
So Bongi, good afternoon, welcome back to the team. Bongi, can I ask you, your coach has constantly been talking about ahead of the test in Santiago, that if you guys don't manage to win the match over there, this match will be as a final. Is there added pressure on you guys as more experienced players, leaders, to deliver the goods this weekend? And then the second part of my question is, as a leader, how do you guys back a player like Manie, who's been a bit under pressure this past weekend? And so please say something about your teammate, even Elspeth,
Yeah, and I think we know. I think we all understand the magnitude of this game coming this weekend. We know Argentinians are always tough. We always respected them. I think they bring the physicality that we kind of also want to bring to other teams. This game this weekend is going to be important. It's going to be vital. But obviously, we have made plans. We had a meeting yesterday, and we just stick to our reality. We know our reality what it is, and we know that we have Springbok standards we want to achieve in the game. So it's definitely going to be a massive one. And coming to Manie, I mean, talking from experience, in 2016 when we lost to Italy. Through the last line out in and we lost it, and I mean I got my name dragged to the mud and all that, and it does come with playing for the Springboks, playing at the highest level. You make a mistake and cost you a test match, and someone like Manie, someone who's been through a lot also in his life. I mean outside of rugby, I think this is for him. It's just another challenge, just to prove himself to himself first of all, and to everyone else. That he is a fly-off of international standards, especially in the Springbok jersey. So it's going to be a tough game, but we're looking forward to it. We'll prepare as best as we can. But as I said, we'll stay in our reality, and we'll make sure that we fix our mistakes that we need to fix for the following weekend. When it comes to Evan, I think Evan is a very respected man, respected in this team, wherever he goes, off the field and on the field. He's a big family man. But I mean, if you go talk to Evan about the Springbok environment, it's a place where he loves being. He's given so much to the environment. He's given so much to the sport, and to see him reach this milestone that he's going to reach in his career, it's pretty amazing. I mean, myself, Sia, France, a couple of us who played with each other, against each other from junior level rugby, and seeing how we've all grown, developed throughout the whole years. And I mean, seeing someone like Urban, whom you know very well, achieve this milestone is really awesome. Awesome for him, but I mean for us as players, we know how special it is, how special we're gonna have to make it for him. So yeah, it's gonna be an awesome weekend.
Rassie, obviously Argentina have had their best rugby championship this season.
Yes.
Is there anything different about them under Felipe Contemporaneous that you can pick up?
Yeah, definitely. I'll get to Filippo, but just I think people also forget that people say we lost one of the rugby championships in 2019, but that was like a shortened version. It was only a single round. So I think this is will be, if we manage to do it on Saturday, only the fourth time in history. I think it was 1998 when I was a player who won it once, and I think in 2004 and 2009. So it's actually been a couple of years, 2009, since we've actually won the full rugby Tri-Nations Rugby Championship. So that will be fitting for Eben just to add. That will be a nice takeaway for him, because I think that's one of the things he might not have achieved in his career, and which he can also maybe do on Saturday. Yeah, but then there's the Argentinian team standing in our way, exactly like you say. And Filippo is a guy who travelled all over the world. I played against him a lot. He coached at Leinster for years, so he's got all the experience of different cultures and playing styles. But he's managed to bring that within to the Argentinian team, and their discipline, which was always a little bit issue. I mean, we were the team that got the yellow card on Saturday. They didn't get a card at all. They were penalised in the beginning a bit, but definitely the discipline is much better, and there's certainly a lot of speed in that team, and he's really utilising that really, really well.
Rassie, obviously you said they scored all their points in 17 minutes.
Yeah.
In that time, was it a defensive lapse, or was it a system lapse, or was it an individual? Now that you guys have watched the game again?
Yeah, the one was just a great move from them, which was really well planned. The other one was two individual tackles that was missed. So when you're a man short against a speedy, they're all sevens players, they all come through the sevens system, and all of them are quick and agile. We didn't get into a grind with the scrums and the mauls. It didn't really happen for us. It was really hot there, and the game got loose for those 15, 17 minutes. And the second half, we managed to tighten it up, and as you could see, we almost grinded it back with the last minute or so when we almost scored a try. Even if I think the try was easier to score than the penalty then was to kick, So was a defensive lapse, but also individuals who missed tackles.
Rassie, when Argentina joined the Rugby Championship way back when, at that time they were much like, as people used to say, the old French side. You never know what side you're going to get on the day.
Yeah.
Is it encouraging for you to see how world rugby as a whole has developed to the point where countries like Argentina are more regularly competitive and more consistent at such a high level, to the point where they can now be among the top two in the Rugby Championship compared to where they started?
Yeah, we've got a hell of a lot of respect for them, not for, but they're achieving currently and always has. Augustine Pichot was a good friend of mine, and we're regularly in contact. And he said on Saturday my rugby win before the game, but what he's personally done and what Argentina has done for the game is amazing. And to think that their players are playing all over the world and they get them together and they still perform like this to beat all three Southern countries by. All of them, it's only us that got a log point out of one of the games. Obviously, they lost the other games. But I think it's nice to have countries like that who makes it, sometimes you put them down and they don't get opportunities, but they just find a way to climb up again. And we see ourselves sometimes who are also in that boat, and we also manage to get out.
So Rassie, sometimes I have to ask those heavy loaded questions.
No.
South Africans, 64 million people are celebrating Heritage Day today. Obviously, you guys have a very short week. You guys have to focus on rugby at the moment. But what does it mean for you guys as South Africans, as individuals, as human beings? How do you guys celebrate, and what does it mean for Springboks?
Yeah, I think everybody's different. Pongi is different than me, and Piper and I'm different, and there's some guys who's different religions and with different backgrounds and cultures. So I guess everybody's got their own way, and I think that's what makes South Africa special. We certainly in the Springbok team have a certain culture how we like to run things, and it comes very natural to the players because it's been installed over 6-7 years or over many years. But I mean, it does change with ebbs and flows as different coaches and management team and or players comes in. But with this specific bunch of players, I do think the players really carry themselves well and try to be what the best they can do to make this country better. And obviously the old cultures, they will support and be happy in who they are and what they are and to be South African.
Rassie, for Felipe and Argentina to win, they need to deny you guys a bonus point and they need to score 3 more tries than you. And obviously their mindset going to that game is going to be to score tries and try and put up as many points as possible. That can be a good thing and a bad thing for both sides. Just how do you approach a game like that, knowing the opposition will want to score so many tries against you?
Yeah, we were 2 years ago. We were in a position when Australia just sort of kicked the ball out against New Zealand, and the referee said it was time wasting, and then we had to score 46 points versus Argentina to win the Rugby Championships in Durban, and we worked out that we had to score every 14 minutes a try, and we scored the first try, and the referee didn't give it. So they'll definitely have a plan, and the plan will be to run us off our feet, you know. So, but our plan is to win. Our plan is we lost one game in the Rugby Championship by 1 point, and we've now got an opportunity at home. None of these guys have held a Rugby Championship Cup of a full Rugby Championship, so we are going out to win, not to try and stop them. You know, we're trying to win.
Babes, all this talk about yellow cards and Argentina not even having one with Lavanini in the squad. Are you getting worried that Rassie's looking at whether their laws advisories?
Yeah, I'm in trouble, am I not? No, obviously they do something right, and they've changed a few habits, but sometimes when you're under pressure, some of those things happen, and like Rassie mentioned, the flow of the ebb and flows of the game. If there's momentum against you, sometimes those cards come easier because players are under more pressure and you give meters, and then the same infringement look worse. We're certainly not a team that's trying to not give away any penalties, because if you don't, it means you don't take part in the game. So if you actually contest the game, you can be as accurate as you want, but you're still going to concede penalties if you engage in the contest. But yeah, for us, we've looked at a few things after the last 2 games, especially in the breakdown, tacklers getting out. And if we can service that better this week, we probably concede a couple less penalties.
Looking forward, and you have thought about it, tour of the Northern Hemisphere, would the focus be on developing depth or retaining the #1 spot?
Yeah, we would like to retain the #1 spot, but we've certainly created depth so far whilst being in the Rugby Championships and versus Wales and Portugal. I think we kept 11 players in Cape Town, new players that's only played this year for South Africa the first time. So, and there's also guys like Hendrik who got a chance this weekend, who showed us he can play hooker and prop. That answers some questions, you know. A guy like, there's so many guys. I mean, Ruan Nortje wasn't even in our mix in the beginning. If you took a look at our succession planning and the way he grabbed his opportunity, he was probably fifth rank of the 5 locks, if I must be honest. And then with Fluid going down, and then Erge going down, and then Franco going down, and then who was the last guy? I can't even remember. So he was the 5th guy on the rock, and he just came in, slotted in, and took that position. He'll certainly make some mistakes, but he's a young guy. He can go to the next World Cup. You know, you could see we had Grobbish, we gave him a chance. We gave Gerard as a young guy. We've got Damien Willemse who must come back. We've gave Sasha a good run. Manie is still a young man, relatively to World Cups, if you put it that way. We've got the 2 9s and Grant Williams and Jaden, Jasper Visre. We've got, you know, Elrich, we gave a chance. We gave Evan Roos a chance. So we're certainly not trying to create depth, but trying to stay on top will always be in the back of our heads.
Rassie,
hey.
Hello. Afalele played a few tests now as well.
Yeah.
He's really playing good rugby. You must be happy with him coming through, taking a chance. Damien Willemse coming back, and you have the experience of Billy also. You must be happy with those 3 guys at the
Yeah, it's, you know, team selection should be non-emotional, but you do start getting a good relationship with players, and you've gone through a lot of things together as a team. And you know, a guy like Eben playing his 100th game in South Africa. It's great that we could manage that. It would have been great Villiers on the 97 test matches, but he knows his job in the team. He definitely understands that Apolele is definitely firing really well for us now. He's taking his chance. The areas that we thought he struggled in previously, he's just really doing well there. It's not just a flashy part that he's doing well, he's also doing the grind part really well. And then he deserves his spot, So yeah, when Damien Willems is back and Sasha is back and everybody is back for the end of year tour, it will be very interesting to see how we're going to manage what. But rather have that problem like when we had in 2019 where we were scraping for players.
Bongi, the stadium is sold out for Saturday. It's the first time that a Argentina game in South Africa has been sold out. Times are tough in South Africa, household budgets are tight. What does it mean to the team that 42,000 people are going to be at that stadium shouting for the box and hoping that you feed off the energy?
Yeah, I think that is one of the most important things that we as a team look forward to the weekend, especially playing in South Africa, playing in front of your own people, of your own country, wearing the Springbok jersey, and just playing your heart out and showing pride. Because they pay, as you said, it's tight economy. People sacrifice time and money to make sure that they do have the tickets to come and watch the box. And throughout the whole years, that has always been our mission to fill up the stadiums in every place in South Africa. From past experiences, we've been to dark times where people didn't even want to wear the Springbok jersey. And now the Springbok jersey are sold out everywhere you go. So that's really something we've worked hard for, and really something remarkable for this team, and not just for the team. For everyone else who has young kids, who has a family, who has other relatives that look up to them. It's always nice to see the support, especially after the game. Also, when the families are allowed to come and join us as a team, win or lose, we're always together, meeting the other players' families. So yeah, it's really is important to this team, and also sometimes it does get emotional. But yeah, we learn to control our emotions, and we just make it personal between the 4 lines.
Can I add to that, Percy? Just when we left Argentina, obviously we lost. We had to quickly shower, do the media press conference, get in the bus. It was like a 3-hour bus ride. Got to the airport. Then we had to get onto the plane with Argentina. Then they sit on the one side of the plane and we sit on the other side of the plane. And obviously you feel really dejected and a little bit negative. You're a bit sad because you lost. And you're reviewing the game and everything. And I think it was a 12-hour flight that we had straight from there to right here. But when we landed here, and I don't know what time it was, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, but I don't know how many people there were at the stadium. But the lift that gives you when you've just experienced that crowd on that side, and how it lifted them, and you think, yeah, okay, we're back in Africa, as we land and the people stand there and you see some familiar faces, and yeah, it's very nice. Jimmy Stonehouse was at the training today. You're back to normality, and it makes a hell of a difference.
Sorry, I was just asking English question. My colleague asked you about retaining the top spot. Reality is you guys are not on top of the log anymore. Second place at the moment. Does that mean anything to you, the Springboks?
It only means at the end of 25 when they select the World Cup pool draw. So doesn't matter now. It's just bragging rights now for whoever's on top at the end of 2025. It really counts for the draw of the pools.
Last English question over there.
Yeah, sorry for Bongi. You and Evan have obviously come a long way together. Suffered many losses and enjoyed many victories together. Him now becoming the most capped Springbok of all time, obviously, it shows that he really is what it takes to be a Springbok. Of all your memories together, is there anything specifically that stands out to you when you realized this guy is really special and he's going to be a special Springbok someday? Anything that stands out?
Yes, yeah, it's been a long journey together. A lot of memories created, good and bad. But yeah, for me, Evan is always his character. Always in the change room, always be the guy who. A lot of people don't know Evan. Think Evan's always the serious guy, but he's actually one of the jokers in the team. And yeah, actually just maybe loosens the mood up in the team. Probably when there's too much tense in the team, he's probably the guy who will loosen it up a bit. But also when it's time to get serious, he's the guy who knuckles down and makes things very serious and very personal. So I think what I learned from him is just to have a balance between the two. You can't just always be rugby or family. Unfortunately, or the way you look at it, unfortunately or fortunately, we're in this position where we have to get a balance as soon as possible as you can to make it work both sides. Because sometimes you give so much to the rugby environment and your family sort of suffers. You give so much to your family and so your career suffers. So I think even as the guy who's gotten a balance onto that, and I think for me stands out to the kind of man and character that he is. And there's all other memories I can share off, but I don't think it's for the mics.
As jy kyk na die scrums verlede week, die Bok was baie oorheersend. Na wat in Australië gebeur het, en as jy Argentinië is en jy moet weer dit face, het jy enige tendense of is daar enige bekommernisse dat daar miskien so 'n loophole weer sal gebruik word?
Ek dink die Argentyne is kompeterend en die manier, soos Rassie gesê het, Felipe met hulle werk is dit in hulle natuur om ook kompeterend te bly. So nee, alles sal skram en alles sal beter wees die week. Ek werk hard met ons en ons gaan dalk ook beter wees. Maar ja, die low trials wat nou in die oomblik in die gang is, werk regtig goed. Daar's goeie returns op data. Maar die een plek waar daar op die oomblik bietjie basewerkswinkel gestig daarvoor is om seker te maak, mens kan vandag 'n loophole kry om aan contested scrums te kom sonder om 'n speler te verloor. Dit beteken jy moet die HIA-prosedure, die kopkontakprosedure misbruik as jy daarom wil kom as jy nie werklike besering het nie. Maar ek glo die Argentyne is heeltemal te kompeterend. Hulle sal nie in daai omgewing ingaan nie.
Die law het nie blasey oor die bokke wat hier kom speel nie. Maak dit 'n verskil aan julle, die gees as jy wil, en kan jy sê of op matchday, en sover hoegenaamd is daar 'n verskil teenoor 2 jaar terug, die All Blacks hier was, dit is nou skoolvakansie, dis een ding, maar is omwille vir julle spesiaal.
Ja, ek het hom nog nie ervaar as 'n coach. Ek was geban toe ons laas jaar hier gespeel het nog. So ek was by die oefeninge en so aan. So ek was nie self by die veld gewees nie. Maar nee, ek voel definitief. Ek sal nooit vergeet ons die eerste toets na toe gebring het, die All Black toets. Dit was nogal 'n taamlike interessante gesprekke, want ons het as voorgestel ons wil 'n toets na toe bring, 'n groot toets dan 'n afspraak te bring, om Bella te bring en dit was toen nou die All Blacks gewees en ek onthou as mense wat gesê het, maar hoe gaan mense so ver ry om die veld vol te kom maak en die paviljoene vol te maak, en ons het amper geen twyfel gehad dat mense amper die local mense sal obviously kom, maar familie sal ook eintlik in beplan rondom dit, want obviously is hier soveel mooi goed en lekker goed om rondom te doen, so ons het nooit geen twyfel gehad nie, maar die manne vertel my, die atmosfeer was ongelooflik geweest daar, so en ek moes dit uit die vertelkamer kyk, so ek sien baie uit na Saterdag.
Ja, dat was heel kort, dus praat met ons oor die samenstelling van jou span spesifiek, op die posisie op losskakel, hoekom het jy volstaan met op goed gekies, gaan met Manie Libbok op losskakel, ondanks al die kritiek wat er weergeloop het na die naweekswedstryd in Suid-Afrika?
Ja, presies, Manie mens verstaan dat hy baie kritiek kry, hy verstaan dit self almal, ons almal, al coaches, spelers, hakkers, referees, almal het al deurgeloop deur, as jy 'n fout maak en mense dink dis alles al net jou skuld. Ons is 'n span sien bietjie dieper aan, jy weet, ons dink, daar was 2 tries voor hy skop van Manie, wat ons baie maklik kon gedruk het, wat makliker was as die skop van Manie. So, Manie word gekies nie net om paal te skop en daarom het ons planne rondom dit gemaak, wat hopelik Saterdag sal werk, en die manier hoe hy speel, is definitief 'n manier wat ons dink kan die Argentyne op 'n level match wat hulle probeer speel, en Manie is 'n ouetjie wat al deur baie diep waters is, daai 1 of 2 memes of grappies of kritiek wat die mense teen hom het, jy weet, sy realiteit is wanneer hy tussen ons is, ons verstaan 100% hoekom die mense so voel, en dis ons werk om dit reg te kry, om te help, en ons is besig om dit te doen, en hy sal weer op die perd klim en ry.
Rassie, is jou raad of sy boodskap aan hom om die mense die jongprofete verkeerd te gaan bewys Saterdag?
Jy weet, is maar, ons almal kan hy kort pads inpad, is niemand kyk agter in die jaar, dis dit maklik, en dan gaan staan jy daar op die green vir die laaste ene, en dan bewe jy net so, dis maar 'n ding wat met die tyd nou kom, en of my werklik sê, nog nooit het Manie 'n beker vir ons ergens verloor nie. Jy weet, ons het nie die World Cup verloor as gevolg van Manie nie, ons het nie die, wat sê ander beker, nou dat gewen het, Ons nie verloor as gevolg van Manie. Ons het nog nie 'n beker verloor as gevolg van Manie nie. Ons het nog altyd rondom dit gewerk en as dit daarby uitkom dat dit nou regtig so 'n krisis is, wat hy vir ons bring in natural game en kyk wat het in Skotland gedoen. Ek bedoel, ons was bietjie, die game was in 'n real tyd situasie gewees en hier gaan hy met 'n no-look kickie en hy skop hom reg vir die winger en ons gaan skoor. Jy weet, maar daai is baie moeiliker dink ek as die skop paal toe. So nee, ons werk rondom dit en ons het sy talent op die veld nodig Saterdag.
Rassie, ons het nou by Bongie gehoor van wat even vir hom laat uitstaan het ook. Jou as afrigter, met hom wat nou 'n groot leier figuur in die span is. Nou van nature staan hy kop en skouers bo almal. Maar nou figuurlik. Wat sal hom nou kop en skouers vir jou laat uitstaan as nou die beste Springboks?
Seker maar sy voete en goed. Nee, hy ek het even geteken toe ek by die WP gekom het, toe die eerste 4 ouens wat ons of nie ek nie, WP, was Eben en Kitsie en Sia en daai bands het saam deurgekom, daai groep het saam deurgekom. En ek sal nooit vergeet, hy het nie 'n agent gehad, hy het aangekom en jy het 'n sekere bedrag gekry as jy net as 'n junior speel en dan as jy super rugby speel, dan gaan jy bedrag op. En toe sê hy, maar wat is hy super rugby bedrag? Toe sê ek, hoekom? Toe sê hy, nee, want hy dink hy gaan al super rugby speel. So ek is ook in die kop is reg aan sy skouers en hy het obviously nie, want jy kan nie op 18, 19 reg super rugby speel nie. Kitsie het al daai jaar super rugby gespeel, op baie jong ouderdom, maar Eben is altyd een van die competitive stones wat jy kry. As jy, ek wen hom met darts en so, of hy wen my, dan skuld ons mekaar sê net maar R200. Dan hoef ek nou die coaches of nie, dan bel hy my 2 maande terug en sê, jy het nog nie die R200 betaal nie. So, hy is baie competitive ou, waarom nie of hy die coach bel en sê, ek skuld my nog R200 nie. En daarmee bedoel ek nie, hy stingy nie, hy is net 'n baie competitive ou, jy weet, hy hou nie van verloor nie, hy hou nie van as ons span nie op die regte mindset is nie, hy hou nie van as die mense dink ons try nie op ons hardste nie, Bongie en daai ouens ons, en is baie van die ouens wat hier gelos was, is nogal ouens wat daai tipe, ons wil dit teruggee Saterdag en ons wil dit graag vir Eben ook doen Saterdag.
Die reek van braaivleis hang hier oor die Springbok hotel meneer. Springbokke, braaivleis, synoniem met erfenisdag. Wat beteken dit vir julle?
Ja, vir ons is erfenisdag fiks, soos ek net gesê vir Bongie myself en vir Pypie is seker vir elkeen bietjie anders. Ek weet nie, die een ding in ons Springbokspan dat ons een kultuur en dit is dat ons almal aanvaar soos ons is. Waarin jy glo of jy gelowig is of nie en waar en vir wie jy bid of wat se kleur jy is of wat se taal jy praat, maak nie saak hier ons is Suid-Afrika en ons wil net almal Suid-Afrika beter dan maak met ons eie tradisies en eie menswees. En ek dink dis maar die beste wat ons kan doen, maar dit is sekerlik 'n lekker groep ouens om saam te wees om so 'n spesiale dag te vier.
Awesome. Thank you guys. Een vraag, Rassie gaan Sia volgende week vir sy operasie?
Ja.
En dan hoe lank is hy uit?
Ek dink is 2 weke. Dit is nie 'n lang ding. Ja. Ekskuus, moet dit oor gaan. Okay, dankie.